How do you keep yourself in the same state of mind all the time? I think you have to be a robot to stay in the same mindset all the time. And I think that anyone who claims to be in the same mind state all the time is not really being truthful, or they're delusional. Okay, and they think that's the case, but it's really not. They're just delusional. I think that being human is experiencing the whole gamut. Now, I think that being human is experiencing sometimes being angry, sometimes being calm and having this deep peace and equanimity. I think that being agitated, that's all the human experience. And your goal should never to not be human. You understand what I'm saying? You don't want to be a robot. I mean, what makes us special is the fact that we can experience multiple states, different levels, different moods, different attitudes. But when you're not in control of that, that's the problem. You see, enjoy all the flavors. Just don't let the flavors take you over. You say, okay, vanilla. You know what? Cherry. But when the flavors start choosing and dictating you, that's when you have a problem. So it's not that you don't want to experience all the different states. You don't want the states overtaking you. And so if I can be so bold as to redirect your question, okay, I would redirect that question in this fashion. How do you prevent your different emotional states from taking over? And the only way that I have tackled this is through the process of awareness. You see, most people, when they get taken over by a state like anger, they are unaware that they have been taken over. They're unaware that they've been possessed at that moment. They're unaware that they have been lost. They have died and given up total control to this emotional state. And they realize it after. So there's a blackout period, right? A blank out where your emotional state completely puts you to sleep and you lose awareness. So the key to solving that is to stay aware and to consciously watch yourself all the time and to be aware what you feel. Like I tell my traders, when you're in a trade, right? Don't just write down the mechanics of the trade. Have a column, have an emotional column in your journal. What were you feeling when you did this act? So when you say stopped out at $21.45, mark down what you felt. Right before you enter a trade, did you feel a little fearful? I mean, you entered it, but was there a little fear there? You should watch that. And you should start tracking that. So what if you grouped all of the actions that fall into the category, I did this action, but I did it when I felt fear? And then what if you could do statistical study on all of those actions over the past 20 days and realize that every time, not every time, but the result of these actions are horrible? Then you know fear is not serving you, so that if you're aware of it, don't do it. Because your personal statistics have shown you that when you do an action that is associated with that emotion, it's not good. And you're not guessing, you're using your own personal stats to determine that. But what if another person, same scenario, realizes that when I grouped the last 20 days of actions that were associated with this little feeling of fear, and they did well. Now, for this person, because everyone's different, for this person, that feeling is actually not fear. It's adrenaline. And a lot of people, you can do studies on this, a lot of people confuse fear with adrenaline. So adrenaline is what a top-level athlete experiences right before the competition starts. And a lot of them get the wording mixed up. So a lot of even your top athletes will say, I'm always a little nervous before the game. But they're not nervous. They don't understand verbally the difference between fear and adrenaline. They're experiencing the heightened state from adrenaline that kicks all of their capabilities into this almost superhuman state. And that's not fear. That's trained adrenaline. That's very different. But it is so close in its nature that many people confuse it with the same fear of a bad outcome in the future. You understand? And that's not what these top-level athletes experience. They can't wait to bust out into the start of the game. They're not fearful of the outcome before the game starts. Not a top-level athlete. No. But the butterflies in their stomach is adrenaline, and they think it's fear. So when a trader starts to mark down what they're feeling with every action, wow, then you start this process of truly knowing yourself. And as you become more aware of your feelings during your actions, awareness prevents the feelings from ever being able to take control, because the control can only happen in the absence of your awareness. I always tell the metaphorical story like this. This is how I explained it in the past. When is a thief in your house the most dangerous? Think about this. A thief in your house. When is he the most dangerous? Number one, when you're not there. So a thief can do the most damage when you're not there, because when you're not there, you're not aware that the thief is there. So zero awareness. Now the thief has free rein to rape you of everything you own. No awareness. All right, second state. What if you're there? When is the thief the most dangerous? When you're there? When you're sleeping upstairs and the thief is downstairs taking everything. Unaware. You can't be aware that the thief is there in your sleep. He's still dangerous. Zero awareness. But when does the thief's power to steal end? When you instantly become aware of him. You wake up and you see the thief. Now, that awareness instantly robs the thief of all of his thieving ability. From that moment onward, that thief cannot take another thing. Now, that thief can become something else, can turn from a thief into a murderer. That's different. But you have robbed the thief. The thief becoming a murderer, now it's a completely different ball game. Now you're dealing with a murderer. But if you're dealing with a pure thief, the thief runs. The thief doesn't continue stealing when you see him. The thief runs. Awareness robs the other entity of all of its power. In trading, the moment you become aware that I'm fearful at this moment, you strip fear of all of its power. Awareness is the key. I know I did sort of this long roundabout explanation of that, but it's so important. I've spent a lot of time throughout my life dealing with these issues and looking deeply into the psychology behind proper behavior and consistency. Guys, I used to sit home in the dark and ask myself, Oliver, why can't you do what you say you're going to do? I don't get it. I used to talk to myself like I'm a separate person. Why is that? Today you set out to do this and you didn't do it. Oliver, what is your problem? Why can't you do what you say you're going to do? What is stopping you? And I used to grapple with this. Why can't I do my plan? I write it down. It's staring me in the face. Oliver, why can't you do this? What is your freaking problem? And I spent so much time grappling with those things, man. You know? And so when you see my ability to penetrate a topic like that, it's not because I heard that somewhere. It's because I freaking lived that for a long time. The investigative process, the breakdown of it, the entering into it at its deepest level. And that's the stuff I just try to share with you, you know?